Internal rate of return is that rate at which the net present value of all cash flows from an investment is equal to 0. Excel has a very simple function to calculate internal rate of return. It's called XIRR. XIRR has 3 parameters: values, dates, and a third one called guess is an optional parameter. So values is the cash flows that you want to evaluate, dates is the corresponding dates of the cash flows, and we'll leave out the third one as it is an optional parameter. So for project A, I'm getting an internal rate of return of 5.65%. Let's calculate this similarly for project B. Equals XIRR, my values, my dates, and enter. Now we want to check whether the net present value of all these cash flows using this rate comes to 0 or not. So for the first one, we'll take the value directly as it is from year 0. For the second one, the cash flow divided by 1 plus the rate of return raised to the power of 1 as it is in the first year. As we're using the data from the same sheet, we'll freeze column with the cell D9, which is my internal rate of return. Copy to the remaining cells. So I'm getting a value of 6, which comes because of the rounding of difference. Similarly for project B, we'll use the same formula, because the cash flow divided by 1 plus the internal rate of return, freeze the cell, raised to the power of the year in which it occurs, copy to the remaining cells. Again, there is a small difference due to rounding off. So we can say that the internal rate of return for project B is 4.36%, while for project A it is 5.65%. While using XIRR, you have to keep note of the following 3 points. XIRR expects at least one positive cash flow and one negative cash flow. Otherwise it will return the hash num error. So if I change this to say a positive number, say 2000, I'll get a error here. So it is important that our data has at least one negative cash flow. Similarly, if I keep all the cash flows as negative, then also I'll get the same error. So there has to be one positive cash flow and one negative cash flow. The second point to note is, if any of the dates is not a valid date, then XIRR will return a hash value error. Suppose I change the date to 31st April, which is not a date, I'll get a value error. The third point to be noted is, if any number in the dates precedes the starting date, then XIRR will return a num error. So if here I change the date to 2000, which precedes my starting date of 2010, I'm getting an error here. Also, assuming all factors are equal among the various projects, the project with the highest IRR would probably be considered the best and undertaken first.